7 games. But I'm pulling from Brooklyn. I really want to see. Yo, what's up, y'all, man? We back, episode 3, man. Two Bros and Sports Talk, man. Before you watch this video, make sure you subscribe and like and comment, man. As you can see, my brother ain't here today. He had a lot going on, so it was a lot of time conflicting, but he should be back next week, you know what I mean, for another hot episode. But today I'm gonna be taking over today, so let's go ahead and jump into it, man. But our first topic is gonna be our prediction and thoughts about the first round of the NBA playoffs. First series I'm gonna start with is the Utah and Dallas series. It was a pretty good game, and I mean Dallas did very well compared to what I thought they was gonna do without Luka. You know what I mean? These first 2 games, so they kept it close, but in the end Utah prevailed. Donovan Mitchell did his thing. He got help with Bogdanovic, and I want to say Conley. Well, most of Bogdanovic, because Bogdanovic had 26, Mitchell had 32. So yeah, man, they showing that they still got that core or that strength that everybody been saying they've been having the last 2-3 years. But of course they ain't been put it together for a championship, but they still got it. You know what I mean? And then with Dallas, maybe got most of their scoring from Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, but like I say, they definitely need Luka to win this series. I don't see them being the Utah Jazz if they don't have Luka this series. But like I say, off game 1, it looked like the Jazz could take both games, but Dallas is at home, so and they play a lot better when they're at home. So I can see Dallas stealing one without Luka, just so when you come back game 3 or 4, they could try to make a run to win the series. But I think overall in this series, I think I want to say I had the Jazz winning it, but you know what, I'm going to stick with it. I think the Jazz are going to win it. I just feel like Dallas still ain't really there where they need to be so far to making that push for a championship. I just don't think they have it, but I could be wrong. We go see. But yeah, for right now, I think the Jazz is going to win that series. The next series we can go with is what was that? Who also played yesterday was Philadelphia and Toronto. I think this could be possibly go back and forth until maybe the game 6. And I think whoever wins game 5 is going to win game 6. But it was pretty much a blowout from the beginning. Philadelphia came out and balled, did their thing. Then on top of that, they at home, so they always play great at home. I want to say, hold on. I want to say Embiid led in scoring, as he always do. Hold on, I'm trying to get to it. Let me see. Well, no, actually, Tobias Harris had the most points, and that was shocking to me. But he had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. So he's stepping up like everybody expecting or want him to help him make that push for the finals. Maxey had 38. The boy went off, man. He had 38, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and that was a big help as well. Because like I said, Embiid only had 19. We still had a double-double, had 19 points, 15 rebounds. And then James Harden had 22 and 14. He also had a double-double. So to see that, they surround the Cavs can help chip in when they're not stepping up or they're not doing their usuals. That's big for them. So, that was a big win for them from their supporter cast. And then with Toronto, they were pretty much even across the board so far as point wise. Fred VanVleet had 18. Scotty Barnes had 15. He almost got tripled over actually. He be balling. Siakam had 24, and then OG had 20. So I mean, they getting their numbers, but they're not doing enough to put them where they need to be to win the game. But overall, I think I want to say I had the Sixers winning this series. I just don't think Toronto got enough to stick with Embiid and James Harden, especially when they're rolling. And then, like I said, in Game 1, they weren't really rolling like that, and they still won by 20. So, I think the Sixers go win this series and advance to the next round. The next series, I'm going to go with the Denver and Golden State series. That was another game that kind of got out of hand after a while. I want to say the first quarter it was back and forth. Golden State started off a little slow. But once they picked it up, man, it was on from there. Jordan Poole, shout out that boy. He balled out this game, man. Let me go to it. I want to say he had like 30 points. Yeah, I want to say he went for 30. And that was even with Stephen Curry coming off the bench. They didn't start him because they just wanted to see what rhythm he could be in, to start the game, or just if he played that game. Just wanted to see, how he would come out. But yeah, Jordan Poole had 30 points. Clay had 19. Steph had 16. So that's big, to have a role player, score that many points when the star players, ain't clicking. You know what I mean? And that's big. So they let them know once Stephen Curry and Clay kind of get back in rhythm like they need to, it's gonna be on, man. You know what I'm saying? And then Andrew Wiggins had 16, and he almost, he didn't have a triple double. He had close to had a double double, but yeah, that was big for them, man. Then with Denver, Jokic had his numbers, 25 of 10 with 6 assists. Will Barton had 24, and Monte Morris had 10, and Bones Highland had 10. So for Denver to win, they're gonna need a little more from Eric Gordon, and I want to say even DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench, because he can score too. You know what I mean, when he's in rhythm. But overall, I think Golden State's gonna win this series. I mean, Denver, they just without Jamal Murray and really Jamal Murray. If they had him in the line, I might give them a shot of beating the Warriors, but I just don't see them outstanding, kind of beating out the Warriors. I don't see it, especially when they got Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and I feel like they will finally get their rhythm within this series and kind of get them going to make that push, man. But like I said, Game 1 was basically a runaway for the Golden State, man. And if it's the same way in Game 2, I really could see a sweep, to be honest. But y'all stay tuned, man, and make sure y'all pay attention to it as the first round go along. And then the next series, which was who played yesterday. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Yeah, I want to say that was it of the series yesterday. Oh, I forgot one series: the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now that's gonna be a real classic series, man. Of course, the Timberwolves prevailed yesterday, which I kind of saw because I know they kind of running hot off, they big win in the play-in tournament. So they feeding off the energy that, hey, we can beat anybody. And I think Grizzlies just came out flat thinking that, okay, well, they won the play-in, but hey, we the best team, or we consider one of the best teams in the West. But you can't go out there like that, man. You gotta show every team or whoever you playing against that, hey, we the best. You gotta show it. But I think this one will go back and forth. I can really see a 7-game series. But I will say this: if Minnesota keep playing the way they played in Game 1, they could win in 6 games to me. I'm just putting that out there. Because Memphis, they like I said, they didn't come to play yesterday. They got to come to play in game 2 if they want to get back in the series and possibly take back over the series. Ja had 32 yesterday with 8 assists. And I think that's big, even though, they lost, but it still could show that he could put up more because he was averaging on 20 points in the regular season against them. So he put up 32, so let you know that, hey, he could score, but he just need help from his supporting cast. Let me see who else did good on the team. Dylan Brooks had 24. Jaren Jackson had 12, but he was off yesterday along with Desmond Levine. He was kind of off too. So for them to, like I say, take back over the series, they need Bane and Jaren Jackson to get back on point. So they, take back over. With Minnesota, the boy Anthony Edwards went off, had 36, 36.6, 6 assists, 2 blocks, and steal. Carl Towns at 29 and 13. Malik Beasley at 23 coming off the bench, man. So, it's always big to have a bench player come out and score 20 points. That's almost a guaranteed win if you can have that. So, yeah, man, like I say, they did their thing. We'll continue to see if they can, keep that same level of play or they fall behind and let, Grizzlies take back over. But like I said, I can see this going to 7 games with the Grizzlies pulling it out. I really feel like the Grizzlies is the better team. They just got to readjust or make adjustments for game 2 to get them back where they need to be. Then we can move on to the series that took place today. The first one, which was my Atlanta Hawks versus the Heat. I just don't think, the Hawks came prepared today. They went in a lot of open shots. They was missing a lot of open shots. And then, don't get me wrong, Miami came out flat too, but the thing is, when you're the lowest seed, you got to take advantage of that. And that's what the Hawks weren't doing. It was kind of like they see Miami miss a shot. Oh, well, we missed a shot too. No, you got to jump on those opportunities. Because if they would have jumped on those opportunities, they probably would have got off to a big lead that would have helped them momentum for the rest of the game. But like I said, they got off to a very slow start. And then once Miami found their rhythm, they just took off. They didn't look back, But I do think, it could go 6 games. I think the Hawks can win at least 2 games. But I do think Miami's going to eventually win it. They're just the better team, especially defensively. And then they just playing with that pedigree of, we trying to, go for it all. So, and Trey must play better if even they want to have a shot of winning, this series. Trey got to play better along with the supporting cast. Really the whole team, but Trey definitely got to set the tone. If he don't set the tone, then everybody else ain't gonna really play that well. So, yeah, man. I got the Heat winning, like I said, in 6 games to move on to the next round. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, man. If the Hawks can bounce back and win game 2, then hey, you might be looking at something serious for real. The next series, which was Brooklyn and Boston. This was a good game, good first game, man. I'm still shocked that the Nets lost. And then my thing is, Kyrie was just standing there like he didn't see the pass coming. Like, it's right there, man. You got to see that. But overall, Boston pulled it out in the last few seconds. Shout out to Jason Tatum, man. He really wanted to win that game. You could tell, you know what I mean? But I really think Boston still has a shot. Not Boston, but Brooklyn has a shot winning the series. And like I said, it's a long series, so they still got opportunity to, find their rhythm, make adjustments, and, try to find a way to get back into the series and possibly win it. but KD has to have a better game, even though he still had 23 points, but he had 6 turnovers. He shot 20% from 3-point line, and 37% from the field. So that's not good. That's not the KD we used to. And kind of like what Charles Barkley was saying, if the Nets want to have a shot at winning, KD and Kyrie got to be on. It ain't no one got to be on, the other can be off. Both of them got to be on at the same time each game for them to win. And let's be honest, they don't have the defense. You know what I mean? But my thing is, on that last play, they should have had Drummond in, because I feel like he would have got the rebound or made a block or something. But that's another story for another day, man. But overall, I expect it to be a good series. I still think it's gonna go 7 games. But I'm pulling from Brooklyn. I really want to see them get there, man. I really want to see an 8th seed get to the finals. I don't think it's ever happened in the NBA, but if anybody that could do it, or not an 8th, but a 7th seed make it to the finals. I don't think it's ever happened. If it has, somebody comment below and let me know. But I just want to see it happen, man. Because like they say, they've been talked about all season. I really want to see them get to the finals, man. But it's gonna be a hard road, but I think they can do it if they just play together and play as one unit. But like I said, with Boston, they also have a good team. Tatum, Brown, Smart. I hate saying it, but Horford, he kind of blended with them a whole lot better than any other team he's been with outside of the Hawks. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the series goes, man. But I do have Brooklyn pulling out in 7 games. The next series we got which actually their first game just concluded. The Chicago Bulls versus the Milwaukee Bucks. It was pretty much Chicago got off to a slow start, but as I seen as the flow of the game, they got back into it, and their defense started to kick in a lot more. Because for the most part of the game, they was going back and forth, and then it was very low scoring. But I think to close out the 4th quarter, Milwaukee kind of caught their rhythm and took over the game. Eventually prevailed them to the win, 93-86. Let me see the numbers from this one. Giannis had 27 and 16. Brook Lopez had 18. Drew Holiday had 15. Chris Middleton only had 11 points, which is shocking, and he had 7 turnovers. So they play like that next game. I don't know. I think the Bulls might could pull it out, man. Let me see the Bulls. On the Bulls side, Vucevic had 24 and 17. Zach Levine had 18 and 10, had a double-double. DeMar DeRozan had 18, 8 and 6 with 3 steals. So yeah, I mean, they played pretty solid, but somebody got to stand out and take over. Whether it's Levine or DeRozan, they got to find somebody that can take over the game, because the Bucks is already a tough team to beat. But you can't, when you got the chance to take the lead or close out the game, you got to take advantage of it. Teams like that, they don't go away. Like I said, for the first game, it was pretty good. But overall, I think the Bucks still is going to take this series. But I would like to see it go to at least 6 games. Because I think, I'm not going to say the Bulls are not a good, they definitely a good team. But I just don't think they have enough talent to really beat out the Bucks right now. But you never know. Like I say, in the NBA players, you never know what may happen. But like I said, I got the Bucks in 6 games to move on to the next round. Now the last series, which just started, Phoenix and New Orleans. And right now, as I expected, Phoenix up big, 26-12 right now in the first quarter. So I really expect Phoenix to sweep the Pelicans. But shout out to McCollum and Ingram. They fought hard to get their team in the playoffs, and they did good at doing it. But they going against a team that's hungry for their championship, which they should have won last year. But like I said, that's another story, man. But yeah, I think the Phoenix is gonna sweep them, man. I don't think they stand a chance, to be honest. Yeah, I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening, man. But like I said, with Phoenix, you know, you got the CP3s and the Bookers and DeAndre Ayton. Then they added JaVale McGee, you know, coming off the bench, who already won 3 championships. Well, I really want to say 4 championships because he got one with the Lakers as well. So, yeah, man, I just don't see I don't see the Pelicans beating them at all. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be a sweep, and we'll see them whoever they play in the next round. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts about the first round of the playoffs. Make sure y'all stay tuned, man. And then y'all comment below, man. Let me know who y'all think I got completely wrong, or who gonna win those series, man. Whether it's the Nets or even Phoenix. If you think the Phoenix go slip up and the Pelicans go beat them, you never. I mean, hey, whatever you thinking, let me know, man. But we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is will Mark Jackson be the right coach for the Lakers next season? Now, most people, you know, when it comes to Mark Jackson, they, you know, kind of like when he comes up as a coach, a lot of people get upset because they feel like, you know, Steve Kerr came in and took over his team, which is true, you know what I mean, but which I didn't really know when he did get fired, that it was a little conflict between him and the GM, and I think maybe the owner or some of the executives, you know what I mean, but at the end of the day, whatever it was, he the one that jump-started the Warriors to where they are now. You know what I mean? People don't want to admit that, but that's the truth. You know what I mean? He kind of jump-started the Warriors to where they are now, especially with Stephen Curry and Clay. You know what I mean? He kind of gave them the go, like, hey, you know, shoot, if it's open, shoot it. You know what I mean? But I think he'll be a great coach for the Lakers. But the thing is, do he want to take on all those, you know, the ego mentality or hard egos and being on coaching a LeBron-led team and stuff like that. I mean, not to say LeBron is not a good leader. He's a great leader, but it's just a lot comes with him being on the team. A lot of it was attention, media attention, scrutiny, all that, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to be, you know, do you want to, you know, be the coach for them, and do you want to accept that, you know, that role that, hey, you know, I'm the head coach, but LeBron is going to be still behind the scenes and kind of have his say-so or whatever. Then, like I said, I've been saying he shouldn't have never got fired from the Golden State Warriors anyway, because that first year, I don't think it was the first year he was the coach. It might have been, but I want to say it's the second year when they made the playoffs, and they played really good, man. When I saw it, I said, yeah, that's going to be a team to be reckoned with soon, real soon. And then, like you say, you see what turned out. It just, you know, they fired him and let Steve Kerr come in and, you know, won championships and all that with the team that, you know, the man built. And then I feel like they should give him a championship ring, but at the end of the day, they probably ain't going to do it. They feel like, hey, it is what it is. But Mark Jackson will be a great coach for them, man. But they still got to make a lot of moves to kind of get the right team together. I know a lot of people say trade Westbrook, but I think they still can win a championship with him there. I think they just got to find or help him find his role within the team. Because let's be honest, he's ball dominant. And you already know LeBron is ball dominant, so you can't, excuse me, y'all, but you can't expect 2 ball dominant players to be on the same team and coexist. Somebody got to give up the ball, or somebody got to come off a screen, or, you know what I mean, something like that, or just play off ball. So they definitely have to make adjustments within the roster. I think AD still could help if he can stay healthy, but I don't know, you know, that's the big question mark. Can he stay healthy for a full 82 season? You know what I'm saying? Full 82 games. So it's gonna be interesting to see what moves they make in the off season. It's still gonna be a while for the off season, so they got a lot of time to think on, you know, who they want to be their next coach and what moves they want to make that kind of better the team. But to me, I feel like Mark Jackson should, if he doesn't get with the Lakers, he should get it with somebody else. You know what I mean? But I think he's been enjoying, you know, the his commentating career. I think he's been enjoying it a lot. So I think it's gonna be a hard bargain to try to get him away from him. But you never know. You know, money talks. So if they give him the right price, he might jump on it. But yeah, like I said, overall, I think Mark Jackson could be a great coach for the Lakers, man. But it just, like I say, he just gotta, you know, it's up to him if he want to take on that, you know, that LeBron-led team and what comes with it. But y'all comment below, man. Let me know who y'all think should be the Lakers' next head coach, or do you think Mark Jackson is the fit for them? Yeah, just comment below, let us know, man. Our next topic, I'm gonna give y'all a few players that I thought before the playoffs started that could have a breakout performance or breakout series this playoffs. My first one, which was Anthony Edwards, because I felt like he was ready, or he was made to be in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And I knew this would be his first time, so he go try to show and let him know, hey, I belong here. And we all saw that yesterday. He went off. He had 36 points in his first career playoff game. You know what I mean? That's big. You know what I mean? And he's a hometown boy, so you know you got to represent for the ATL. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was one of them. Tyrese Maxey. I didn't think it was gonna be this early, but I knew they was gonna have to depend on him sooner or later within this series to make a big splash, and he did it within the first game as well. With James Harden and Joel Embiid not doing well in the first game, that he figured that he had to step up. You know what I mean? And he did that. So shout out to him, man. He did his thing yesterday, man. Next one, Jordan Poole, which I kind of had him as the sixth man of the year in the beginning of the year, but I don't think he go get it. I think it's going to Tyler Hero. Well, not sixth man. I'm sorry, most improved. I think that's probably it should go to him, but for what I seen earlier today on TNT, I think it's to go. It may go to Ja Morant, because he brought the Grizzlies from the bottom all the way to almost the top of the West. So I can really see him getting it. But Jordan Poole deserves it as well, man. He been balling all season, man. He really has. And then, like I said, the performance he had yesterday, he had 30 points. You know what I mean? His first career playoff game as well. So, yeah, man. He gonna make the Warriors more interesting, man. Just, you know what I mean? Just having that fire in him. You know what I mean? That want him to be a good player. You know what I mean? Along with Steph and Clay. You know what I mean? Another one was Desmond Bain, which also been playing good in the starting lineup all year long. He didn't have a good game yesterday, but I expect him to bounce back in game 2. Really the whole team to bounce back, because I just don't see them going down 2-0. But if they do, it could get ugly. It really could. But yeah, he just have to bounce back, man. I think he's another candidate for most improved as well. So yeah, we're gonna see, man. Who comes out with the most improved award? Another player that could see having a breakout series or even whole playoffs. Mikal Bridges. Even though he kind of stepped up a lot last year in the playoffs, but I think with this year in the playoffs, it's going to take him to another level. Especially with the time that Chris Paul had to miss, he kind of had to step up along with Devin Booker, you know, to make sure they continue that push to be the top seed. So I can see him making a big splash. If not this series, probably the next series, but somewhere down the line, I feel like he gonna have to step up to make to put them where they need to be. And the next one, I'm gonna say Zach Levine. I think he definitely have to step up if they go beat the Bucks. And that's my guy from UCLA. You know what I'm saying? Been watching him since UCLA days. I think, you know, with him and DeRozan, they gonna have to, you know, go at it back and forth, you know what I mean, with the points to prevail them against the Bucks, man. It's gonna be a hard task, but Levine for sure has to step up and, you know, do his thing. And I feel like if he does it this series, that's gonna prevail them where they need to be within the playoffs. And then my bro suggested Jaren Jackson. He didn't have a good game either yesterday, but he's been a big part of the Grizzlies team this year, especially defensively. He's up for the Defensive Player of the Year award. which most people have him getting it. But it's gonna be interesting to see who does get it in the end. But like I said, offensively, he got to be better next game. Because if he doesn't, that's not gonna help him at all to prevail. So, but he I think this series alone is what he gonna need to go have to break out in for sure. I'm gonna give one more. I'm gonna say, let me see. And I guess you could say for the Heat, I'm gonna say Tyler Hero. I think he has another. Even though he had a good run in the bubble, I think this one is go. I think somewhere in this playoffs he's gonna have to have another good run, just like that he did in the bubble. So yeah, man. I think with those players, I think they can help their teams, prevail with those breakout series. But we got to stay tuned and see, man, if it happens. But y'all comment below who y'all think, who y'all have as a breakout player for the playoffs or for a certain series, or even just who you think I got wrong that might have a breakout series or playoffs. But yeah, y'all comment below, man. Our next topic, which is which wide receiver prospect fits better with A-Rod and Pat Mahomes. For Mahomes, I think Jameson Williams is one. He's fast. He get a lot of yak when he catch the ball, as we've seen, especially in the national championship game and all season long. Which I still say to this day, if he didn't get hurt, that game probably would have came down to the last 2 minutes, rather than Georgia pulling it out the way they did. Also, Chris Olave got the speed. Because at the end of the day, they just lost Tyreek Hill, and I feel like they already got two big receivers in Valdez Scantling, and they got Juju Smith-Schuster. So they kind of big, stocky receivers. So I feel like they're gonna look for somebody they could be that next Tyreek Hill within the offense. And that's Chris Olave. He got a lot of speed. He got a lot of juice in him on the go, But I don't know if he's going to be as shifty as Tyreek, But, hey, he got that speed, so they can use him however they want, whether it's in the slot, outside, probably bring him out the backfield a couple of plays, however they want to use him, even on punt return. So that's another good receiver that the Chiefs could draft for Mahomes. Jaren Jackson, he another good receiver. To me, underrated because, of course, he went to Penn State, and then on top of that, they didn't really have a good year last year, so not too many people know about him. But I think he still could be that that Tyreek Hill factor within the offense. He also can move around, whether it's on the outside or in the slot. As my last one is Sky Moore. He's on the shorter end. Like Tyreek Hill, and he got the speed. I want to say he ran like a 4.3 or a 4.4 in the combine. So yeah, he's another one that could be shifty and can move him how they want to move him, and use him in return game. For Aaron Rodgers, I say Garrett Wilson. Excuse me, because they look to replace, of course, as y'all seen, Devontae Adams, which was kind of big and fast at the same time. And Garrett Wilson is kind of that. He just, I want to say like a slimmer frame, but he still got that speed and he got the size, to go up to get the ball. Also got Drake London, who also, he's more of a possession receiver, but he's big and stocky, and he's be useful in the red zone or short yardage games or whatever. But yeah, he could be a good receiver for A-Rod and the Packers. Treylon Burks, I mostly say him because they run that West Coast type offense, so they kind of use him kind of like how San Francisco was using Debo. Put him at all different positions, whether it's running back, receiver, get him throwing the ball, you know what I mean, just versatile, you know what I mean, even in the punt return game, you know what I'm saying, or kick return. So yeah, that's another one they can use. And another one is Christian Watson. He's another player, another sleeper in the draft that people are saying that could turn out to be a good receiver, depending on what team you go to. And I know that he's one of them that they were suggesting that the Packers may try to get. But yeah, he's a good receiver, pretty fast. I want to say he's like 6 feet or like 6'1", 6'2", something like that. So yeah, he could also be a good receiver for A-Rod, them, man. But this draft is gonna be loaded with receivers, man, and it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, what those two teams decide to do, because they made some big trades this offseason with their receivers. So it's gonna be some big shoes to fill to try to make sure their offense stay afloat. But y'all come below and let me know which receiver y'all think they gonna actually draft come April 28th in the first round. So yeah, y'all come below, man. Let us know what y'all think, man. We finally reached our last topic, man. Y'all already know what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our top 5, man. Y'all know how we get down with it, man. But this time is our top 5 NBA MVP candidates. Our first one, of course, I got Joel Embiid. He's been dominant all year. Even when they got James Harden in the middle of the season, he's still been dominant. And I think, you know, if he can stay that way, he can actually lead them to the finals, man. But of course, he needed that supporting cast. He can't do it all by himself. He's gonna need James Harden to step up as well. But as far as regular season, he was dominant all year, man. And I want to say he finished the season as the leading scorer. So yeah, man, that was big. Number 2, I got Ja Morant, only because, like I said earlier, you know, he brought them from the bottom all the way literally to the top, for real, just to the 2 seed. But he brought it from the bottom, for real, man. I think he should have a shot at it, but you know, like I said, right now, it looks like Embiid is going to grab it, because like I said, he's been more dominant. But Ja Morant definitely deserves a shot at, you know, getting the MVP, man. He did his thing this year, all year long, even without him, even with him being injured, he came back and still balled. You know what I mean? 3, I got Giannis. Got to have him in there, because like I said, he got them back to the top of the East as the 3 seed. And like I said, he played good all year long, you know, even though he might have missed a few games. But he had him in contention all year long, so you got to put him in there. 4, I got Jokic. He been balling as well. With actually him and Embiid was going back and forth on the MVP list all year long. But I mean, I really, honestly, I don't see him winning it. You know what I mean? But like I said, you got to put him in there because he's been balling. You know what I'm saying? I think he was close to averaging a triple-double this season. So yeah, you got to put him in there, man. But I just don't think he's gonna be in that top 2 of decision making as far as who they go choose to win it. And then 5, I gotta put Lamar on the list, man. He was balling all year, man, for the Bulls, and kind of, you know what I mean, he won. It kind of propelled them to, you know, get to the playoffs. And I mean, don't even wrong respect to my boy Levine, you know what I mean, because he was doing his thing prior to Boom. But once they got Lamar, they kind of pushed them over the top. That, you know what I'm saying, where they needed to be. But you know, you got to put him in there. Like I said, he was balling all year, man, and he got some clutch shots in between the season, some game winners. So yeah, man, that's my top 5, man. NBA MVP candidates, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? But y'all comment below, man. Who y'all think is gonna win MVP this year, man? Or who's more deserving of it? Whether it's Embiid or Jokic or Giannis or even Ja. Let us know below, man. But once again, man, thank y'all for tuning in. It's been another episode of Two Bros and Sports Talk. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, before y'all get off this YouTube, man. And Also, like I say, what we said before on our last episode, man, y'all make sure y'all follow us on our social media, man. We're gonna be doing trivia questions again, or trivia contests, I should say. Giving out more money, man, and little prizes, man. So yeah, man, y'all make sure y'all follow us on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but IG and Twitter. Like I said, on IG is two Bros Sports Talk, and on Twitter is 2 Bros, the number 2 Bros, Tall 1. Those are social media handles, man. Make sure y'all go follow them, man. And like I said, help us get our views and share and all that, man. Help us out, man. We're trying to make this a whole TV show on YouTube, man. But we can't do it without y'all support, man. So y'all help us out on that, man. But until next time, peace.